Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. And this is going to be a Gauntlet review of the Condor Woodlaw. And don't forget, you can follow this knife through the Gauntlet process and all the other Gauntlet reviews, and or just follow your favorite channel at thegauntlet.tv. So don't forget to check that out. That's thegauntlet.tv. And I believe the first person in the Gauntlet to review this one this time. Very simple, classic design, nothing fancy at all. Very utilitarian and hopefully very useful design. So let's take a quick look at this thing and then we'll get down to some knife stuff. Okay, once again, this is the Condor Woodlaw. The Woodlaw features a 4-inch, sort of a clip point blade of 1075 high carbon steel with a natural finish and a black epoxy coating, a micarta handle with a sleeved lanyard hole, and like almost every Condor knife I've seen, this one comes with a really nice leather belt sheath. Okay, that's some of the specs and details for this Condor Woodlaw, and show you the sheath. It's a standard Condor belt sheath, just a pouch type sheath, and it taco style leather sheath, and it's very, very good retention when new. I guess I could shake it out. Probably as time goes by, this will loosen up and lose some retention. That's my experience with the sheath. That's just the nature of the beast. Probably wet form it and make it do a little better, but it's just really heavy duty, well sewn as always from Condor, and with a nice belt loop here. So, micarta handle. You can see this is a brand new knife, but you can see it is carbon steel and a little bit of rust there. And that's going to happen. That's just the nature of carbon steel. The grind is it's almost a Scandi. It's like a Scandi with a slight secondary on it. Feels really sharp, so we're going to see how well it works. Okay, we're going to start with a standard paper test, because this is kind of a good standard gauge to test the sharpness of a knife. Never been touched, factory edge. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so up towards the belly, it seems to be a little bit sharper. It just absolutely starts slicing. Enough of that. Paper cuts paper. Probably will cut wood, I'm guessing. Again, it's not a fancy knife, very utilitarian. I bet it would probably skin an animal extremely well. Okay, I got to tell you, as the Gauntlet process moves forward, it's getting tougher and tougher to try to keep from just doing the same old thing. I know you're tired of watching the same old thing. I'm tired of doing the same old thing. So I thought what I would do with this one, since it's not a great big knife, it's not a chopper or a big knife. This is kind of a all-around utility knife. I've got a piece of, I think it's privet. I don't know. I cut it out of some brush I was clearing, and I'm just kid enough to think, man, that'd be a slingshot. So let's readjust things, and we're just going to take this and see if we can make a little something with it. Okay, I got to tell you, I used the Woodlaw to chop these. It did okay to get through enough to where I could break it. So I'm just getting this little stuff out of the way, and then all we'd do is go ahead and take these down to about slingshot length. I'm going to say somewhere right in here, and then we'll work on the handle a little bit, try to smooth things up. Probably going to fast forward through a lot of this. I may even skip some of it. I got about 20 minutes of battery left, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of give you an example maybe of how well this thing performs under different circumstances and conditions. Again, I think this is privet maybe, and I'm surprised. I was really surprised. Privet is kind of like a weed or invasive species. I think it was imported from China or Japan, and I'm surprised at how tough this stuff is. So I'm going to say I want my handle to be about this long. So we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and cut this off a little bit longer so I can have some room to round it off. Yeah, be careful. I kind of got it at an angle there, so I don't want to mess it up. So let's just do a little beaver chew then. Check for some hot spots and just, basic knife use. The kind of stuff you used to do before the internet. Okay, so I could make this prettier and smoother, but it's not really necessary. I'm going to be holding it right here like this, and we want to put some, just kind of round these off for a little nicer up here, and put some notches up here to fasten your bands, whatever kind of bands you determine to use for. So. I'm going to call this one ready for some bands. Got a couple of notches here. You know, whatever bands you want to use. I'm not going to purpose this video is not to make a slingshot. I'm just trying to do something different, little simple task. So I'm pretty sure that if I put some bands on there, it'll make a pretty decent slingshot there. I might even want to turn it that way and get some more forward leverage. Maybe another video. Okay, well that is the Condor Woodlaw. And you see, obviously not the greatest effort in the world, but it's good roughed out the framework for a slingshot. Probably spent about 30 solid minutes of carving, whittling, and just general camp task. Just thought that'd be maybe something different other than just, you know, baton a piece of firewood and strike a ferro rod. But it will do pretty good on the ferro rod. So, carving this, did I encounter any issues? Honestly, the only issues I had was when I was doing push cuts with my thumb like that. This thing is a pretty sharp spine, so that is not super comfortable doing that. It's one of the trade-offs you get when you have a sharp spine, and this one is pretty sharp. I would call this a very, very useful, all-around, you know, medium-sized fixed blade knife. I might even call it small, but that's probably just me. So anyway, my overall impressions are, you know, it's just a pretty simple, straightforward knife design. Got a really straight handle, almost a barrel handle, but it's kind of flat on the sides, but nice and rounded. Really, I did not detect any hot spots. I was using it pretty heavy, carving some of the stuff off. Really, really minor chopping. I like the point on it. It really lets you get into a tight spots, as you saw with a little push cutting. Even after all that carving, I just want to show you. And this is freehand. You know, in my opinion, this is a very useful edge. Nothing to impede the aerodynamic functionality of the knife, by the way. I gotta say I like this knife. This is probably one of my favorite Condors so far. I just like the simplicity and the utility of it. I hope this has been helpful. Once again, this has been a Gauntlet review. I'm not sure who this is going to next, but you can find out by going to thegauntlet.tv and following this knife. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for clicking that like button, that thumbs up. Thanks for sharing it with your friends. Thanks for putting up with the dogs. Thanks for watching those ads, and thanks for clicking on those Amazon links and doing your shopping on Amazon through my links. I cannot tell you how much it helps the channel, and I sincerely appreciate it. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident. So be prepared. See you next time.